There we go, recording. Hi, Jonny. Today we are joined by Jonny here, who's a serving firefighter. If you want to introduce himself, say hi to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah. So what we're going to do today is just to cover a little bit about what the fire service expect from you fitness-wise, what you do in your general day-to-day work in the fire service fitness-wise. I mean, nothing else. And then also go on to, obviously you keep fit for yourself anyway, and you train like that. I know you through Mitchell, who's another bodybuilder type weightlifting person. So do you want to start with what you do normally in terms of what the fire service actually expect from you fitness wise? Are there limitations to what you do? Are you expect? I know, like in the Navy and things like that, you have to do a fitness test annually, that sort of thing. Do you have to do that in the fire service?
We do. We maintain a level of fitness which gets tested every year, which is the multi-stage fitness test, which is commonly known as the bleep test.
Okay.
And it used to be age-related, so the younger you were, the higher you had to get. It's now done on a national average, so it takes out the younger you are, the fitter you are, sort of thing. So yeah. It used to 9.6 that you had to reach with the highest. It's now been taken down a level for everyone, so whether you are 18 or you are 60, you need to maintain the same level of fitness throughout your career, which is level 8.8.
How old do they go into the fire service where they're actually out on a fire engine?
We retire at 60 now.
So you'd still be expected to go out at 60 years old and still fight the fire the same way as you would if you were 20.
Of 8.8. So it's crucial as the years go on. Naturally, fitness does decrease. So that's just what happens. So it is vital to have to keep.
Is there some strength training involved in that from a work perspective? I mean, are you expected to be able to, like, I don't know. I mean, in the army for their fitness test, they have like a couple of machines that they have to do like a push against the wall type of thing with an elastic band type of operation.
Well, obviously annually we do our fitness test. So we'll do the multi-stage fitness test or the bleep test. Yeah. Then you will do a shoulder press with one of the ladders. You'll do a dummy drag with a certain kilo weight. So there is certain aspects of requirements of strength you do need to keep up.
Okay, and obviously within your weekly, you work. Is it 4-12 4 on 4 off? Is it, or has that changed now?
2 days, 2 nights, 4 off.
2 days, 2 nights. Okay. So as part of your work time at work, do you have to go off and do some sort of fitness training, or is it just expected to do it in your free time?
For me personally, I expect myself to do it in my free time, but the service do allow 45 minutes per day, which is either allocated to strength training, fitness, or team sport. Okay. So we are given time to keep fit and work on our strength and things like that. Whether it be going in the service provided gym, or practicing the bleep test, or participating in some team sport. Okay. So there is time.
And obviously because of that, how old are you?
I'm 27.
And how long have you been in the service?
5 years.
5 years. Oh, okay. So what, joined at 22?
22, yeah, just turned 22.
And you enjoy it, I guess.
Yeah.
Lots of time off as well as lots of time on, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so.
Well, when I spoke to you the other day to confirm this, you said you'd had a really busy day. So I guess even as part of your work, it's not so easy if you're halfway through a set of sit-ups and you've got to suddenly go out and stuff.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That interrupted the... so it's not always... It's 45 minutes on a day where we can get it done. So if operational incidents happen, then it doesn't happen. So even more reason for us to have to make time on our days off to be able to do it.
And obviously, you keep fit for your own. Did you start lifting before you joined the fire service, or were you?
I've lifted weights, as a kid really, but never anything properly. And then you start getting into gyms and started learning a bit more about training and how to build your strength, and then you find your own style of training of what you like. And my personal thing is I like to strength train. I do obviously do cardio on my days off, but I keep it quite intense rather than long distances. I try and keep it 5K and aim to beat that time where it's nice. It's what we do at work, where it's short, intense, and sharp stuff.
Yeah, sure. I mean, obviously the business goes that way, the fitness goes that way anyway. So you have to keep going with what you do. Like with strongman, it's short, sharp bursts of strength. There's no point in running a marathon, and no need to run a marathon. You know. So.
Exactly. So most of our work, when we are on jobs that require it, it's intense, but sometimes short periods of time. So I try and tailor my training around what I could face at work.
Okay. Is that always, I mean, since you've been in the fire service, has that always been your goal? I mean, obviously image is a big part of why a lot of people train in the first instance. You know, certainly I like.
That's probably what got me into it, you know. I'd be lying if I said it didn't. But as time goes on, you start to enjoy your training and you have a goal. And for me now, it's not to look the part. I'd rather be strong and look strong, if you want to.
And has that gone in your training? Have you changed from sort of the general sort of bodybuilding style training to more sort of weights orientated or more powerlifting based or anything?
Absolutely. For me now, it's rather than training a muscle, it's training a movement and trying to get stronger at that movement. So I'll always focus a workout around a big compound. And I'll always try and beat the numbers of reps or number of sets from the previous workout, or just progressive overload. And then if I want to do something after where I feel like I want to stimulate a muscle, then I will do so.
Okay. And what does a general sort of routine look like for you nowadays?
So I'll probably break it up into my pressing. So I'll probably bench and overhead press on the same day. And if I want to do something after an extreme movement for triceps, I'll do that. Deadlifting, so I'll revolve my session around the deadlifts, the numbers of the deadlifts, and then I will move on to, say, pull-ups and lat pull-downs. And then legs is always focused around squats and RDLs. So
again, what sort of rep set ranges are you working on? I mean, obviously from a strongman point of view, I'm like for a deadlift, for example, I would only do like 3 reps sets, maybe 5 or 10 sets with like 3 reps, keep it short and sharp. How does your training look in comparison?
I mix it up. So I'll either my maximum I'll probably go to is 10, but that would only be because I'm aiming to get 10. You know, I'd rather stick somewhere around 5, like a 5x5 I seem to stick with, or 7x3. And then now and again, I might go for a single, but that's purely only to know what my capabilities are. I wouldn't really train for a 1 rep max, you know. That's purely just to see what I can do. Yeah, but most it's 5x5 because I think that works.
It's working for you, is it? The 5x5.
5x5, I think definitely for squats and for bench. I think it works massively. Deadlifts, I might go slightly higher reps sometimes, and then completely drop that down again. So yeah, it does vary. I'll mix it up, but there's method behind the madness when it comes to the weight and the reps.
And you train. Obviously, you live up in up near my nephew Mitchell. Do you train with him much nowadays, or?
Yeah, but when the gyms were open, I was training with him every day, and as you know, he's a strong lad. So it's good to have someone like that to train with to keep both of you motivated. Really,
it definitely helps. Obviously, with Mitchell's skinny legs and everything, is he now squatting a little bit?
He squats. I promise you now. Yeah. I've dragged under that bar.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice to get that. I mean, I've known Mitchell since he was born. So yeah, it's been a long time. With Mitch, I mean, he was always an upper body focused sort of trainer. And again, as he's moved on, obviously the badgering from the skinny leg sort of photos on holiday and stuff, he's started to get into some squatting and deadlifting and things. I think it's important I'm sure you do, to have a good balance overall, especially taking into account your work. I mean, I'm assuming running up a ladder is all mostly legs and not arms and that sort of thing. So obviously you need to keep it strong and focused.
Yeah, you get older and you realise a lot of your power. Well, a considerable amount of your power comes from your legs and your back. So, you know, when you're young, it's all chest and arms, isn't it? And then as you start to gain a bit more knowledge, it suddenly becomes back and legs.
Cool. Yeah. Any insights to it, and why your training style that you like? What sort of weights are you lifting? So let's go with a big 3 squat, bench, and deadlifts, just to boost my ego or yours.
I'll openly admit for years I didn't really squat properly. I was always benching and things like that. So my bench is 150, but also so is my squat.
Okay, that's not that bad necessarily.
Well, it's still not great. And then my deadlift is 190. So but I haven't been deadlifting as the gyms are shut, and I don't have the facilities to deadlift at the minute. So
I think we're all going to, when we hit the gyms again, we're all going to find that our lifts are way down on what they used to be. I mean, my best deadlift at competition was like 270. It's gradually gone down as I've got that little bit older. So I'm guessing 230, 240 is about my peak just before we hit shutdown. I think I'd be, if I'm honest, I think 150 to 190s would be where I'd want to be training at when I get back in the gym. Squatting has always been one of those things with me. I've either been really strong at it and really keen on it, but because I've got a mashed up shoulder, I struggle to get a bar on my back. So I tend to use like safety squat bars and things. And when that happens, it's a lot harder to get into a good, really deep position and still push the loads that I wanted to. I think last time I was actually in the gym and measured my squat, it was around 150, 160 as a maximum. So, again, it's not necessarily the be all and end all. It's just when you compare your bench to the average used to be, I don't know what your body weight is, but the average used to be bench your body weight, squat 1.5 times your body weight, and deadlift twice your body weight. That was the sort of area being fairly balanced.
90 kilos I am at the moment.
Okay.
So it's just a touch over 15 stone.
Yeah. Is that where you sit normally?
No, not at all. This is the heaviest I've been for a while, but it's because I've been trying to get bigger and stronger. So we'll see. Obviously, I've got heavier as I've got older.
Do you think if you get? I mean, I used to sit around when I was in some of my earlier sports where I was like doing triathlons and things like that. I used to sit around 12, 13 stone. Maybe crept up to about 14 stone. And then when I climbed, which I used to do quite a lot as well, again, I was around that sort of 13 to 14 stone weight. Obviously now I'm sitting at 16 and a half. It puts a strain on climbing, even running up a flight of stairs is a lot harder because I've got to move 16 stone instead of 14 stone. Do you think if you get sort of too big, is that going to sort of be detrimental to a little bit to your work, or will it help? Having that power and stuff.
I personally feel that if you're strong, it will never ever be a weakness in life. Everything you do, if you're strong, it's going to have a positive impact. But it will get to a stage where running becomes harder because you're heavier.
I do like that attitude, though.
Yeah, it's true. Especially the kit we wear. You're just adding more weight onto you. So yeah, definitely for what I do, I will keep an eye on my weight and my body composition because if I'm not functional, there's no point.
No, I see. But I think generally, even with the strongman and stuff, where I have got up to 16 and a half stone, I think with weight or carrying weight, you get comfortable in it eventually. I mean, I suddenly ballooned up to the weight and I felt very uncomfortable, very heavy. Probably my blood pressure was higher. Everything was not settled. And as I got more settled into it and my body got adapted and there was more muscle, less fat and that sort of stuff, it sort of balanced out. And I sit really comfortably at around 103, 104 kilos now, which is just over 16 stone.
Your body will adapt to it, and what
Yeah.
will naturally is going to be different now when you get heavier. So yeah, I agree with that. Your body definitely it will adapt to more muscle and more weight.
Well, I think so. I mean, when I used to race mountain bikes, was another one of those things that I did back in the day. And to me, it always made sense at the time to have the biggest, strongest legs that you could have of a cyclist out there. You know, so you see some of these Tour de France guys, and they've got, you know, skinny little upper bodies and huge, great big, powerful legs, and they always wanted that huge leg to keep that power going and keep pushing and get up those mountains. You know, so it makes sense to me to be stronger. I think that's why I moved into strongman eventually, was for those reasons. It's like you say, there's no point in just having the bodybuilder muscles if you're not going to be able to use them. If you can't do a muscle up, or you can't do, you know, you can't push a huge great big weight above your head, or any of those sort of things, it's not really going to be helpful, is it? You know, so
not at all. Especially very tailored for the job. If you're strong and you can lift up a big weight, which could potentially be a person, but you haven't got the fitness to be able to get out the door, it for me it's balance, you know.
Going back to the fire service a little bit, has the fitness test, I mean, you say the fitness test on the bleep test has changed. I remember, and I'm not putting this to the fire service because I don't know anything about the fire service in that respect, but with the police service, they did a big change round just after I qualified as a personal trainer back in 99, 2000. And the first person I ever trained was a lady who wanted to join the police service. And they suddenly changed the fitness levels and everything to make it sort of more fittable. Did that happen in the fire service, or without sort of putting anything, you know, bad? If you don't want to say anything, please don't. I mean, you probably came to it 5 years ago, which is like 15 years before, or 15 years after all that happened. So you probably haven't seen it.
I wasn't there when it happened, but it probably, I suppose it's happened with everything. So it becomes more inclusive, that it makes other people realise that anyone can join.
Yeah.
You be some sort of superhero fitness freak to be able to do it.
You're all heroes anyway, aren't you?
Yeah. You can still just have a good level of fitness and a good level of strength to be able to join.
Would you say in general, in your station particularly, people make an effort to keep fit? Is there that competitiveness within the, not in the job, but in your fitness levels? Do you compete outside? You said about sports and things. Is there like a fire service rugby club or a fire service football club or that sort of thing?
Yeah, they have teams. They have football teams and things like that. So it is very competitive. But I'd say a lot of the people that I work with, my colleagues, are all into their fitness. Naturally, if you apply for a job like that, then the chances are you would be into some sort of physical activity. So yeah, there definitely is a competitive side to it as well. And we get that time during the day to train together. So we all.
It obviously builds a camaraderie as well, doesn't it? I mean, all the sort of services that you work in, you know, Army, Police, Navy, fire service, ambulance service, etc. You need to work with people and work well. So if you build a camaraderie with them, it's
because they're your colleagues. They're the one next to you when an operational incident goes down. So it's good to be able to do it.
I love the technical word in there. when the shit hits the fan, what I would have said, but I know what you mean. That's good. Anything else you want to add at the moment of this? Because we keep this fairly short, and I'll have another chat with you when we come offline and just see how everything's going anyway. But if you're done there, I'm quite happy to finish off there. You can always sing me happy birthday if you want.
I will do when you take the call off.
Well, I won't tell you about that bit. All right, thank you, Jonny. It's been very interesting and enlightening. And for my listeners or viewers or whatever you call them, this will be a nice short one because the last one was about an hour and a half long in 2 parts. So thanks a lot, Jonny.